Hi boys and girls, it's been a while since I've updated you on my reading progress. I did read several books over the break and in the month of December, and those are posted on the bulletin board in the atrium for you to look at. Today I had some book homework and I wanted to share with you the books that I read that I really enjoyed. The first one is Tommy DePaula's Stregonona Meets Her Match. Stregonona is one of my favorite book characters, and when I did my student teaching many years ago, I actually dressed up as the character Stregonona and read a story to the class that I was student teaching in. Stregonona is a magic character who uses her magic for good, but there always ends up being some kind of mischief that happens in the story. Read this one to find out who Stregonona's match is. The next book I'd like to share with you is Looking for Bird in the Big City. This book was written by Robert Burleigh and illustrated by Merrick Lose. And this is a neat book. This is about Miles Davis, who is a famous musician. And it is a fictional story, but it's based on how Miles Davis and Charlie Parker, another famous musician, met. And so Miles Davis's character hears a bird in the city and he goes out in search of him. And this tells how the two of them met. The next book I read is called The Foolish Tortoise by Eric Carle. Eric Carle is another one of my favorites. And in this story, Tortoise thinks that he can get by without his shell. He ends up finding out that that shell is pretty useful after all. This is one of my favorite books that I've reread many times. When you have a favorite book, that's something that you can always do because stories that you love need to be read over and over again. In Miss Smith's incredible storybook by Michael Garland, Miss Smith is an incredible reader. When she reads to her class, the stories come to life. I bet many of you have teachers who read that well too. In this story, though, when the characters come alive, you'll have to see the kind of trouble that happens at the school. And finally, this is a Irish folktale, and it is called Brave Margaret. In this story, the main character, Margaret, ends up on a ship with a sailor, and she ends up fighting a sea serpent and a giant, and there's some magic involved, but you'll have to read it to find out about the happy ending. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about these 5 books that I've read this first week back to school, and I hope that you are all reading and working toward your own reading goals. Reading is awesome. Take it from Mrs. Reid. Have a great day.